Hey, welcome to the Negative to Positive Show. And today I have my special guest, the guy who I started with before I even started. We had a great idea. He was working with a program. Was it Generations? What was it?
24/7 dads.
24/7 Dads. I just actually seen a certificate in there I got from those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I was checking that out, and it reminded me why we're doing what we're doing, because Roosevelt Mohammed had a great idea in the program that he was running, and now we're at the second generation of the idea that dads are important. And not only young moms are important, but young dads coupled with the young moms are truly important. So today I have a good friend of mine, DeMarcus. Please, DeMarcus, tell the people about who you are and what you do.
My name is DeMarcus Murphy. I'm a father first. I'm a barber second, follower of the Most High, and I'm all around good person.
That's it? Yeah. You can just stop it. I'm a good person, right?
I'm a good person. I'm a good person, man. I want to see everybody win. And I think we can do it as a people and as fathers, as a group, collectively.
Yeah. So to talk about when in the barbershop, how was you running the barbershop, and how does that in line with being a dad?
It runs firsthand with being a dad. I'm in contact with dads constantly. Being a father myself, having my own children in the shop and raising kids in the shop. So they're seeing business, exchange of commerce. They getting firsthand knowledge of how business is run, how their people skills should be, and how to introduce yourself to the world. Present your product straight to the market.
Straight to the market. Sitting there right in front of you, and they catch everything.
Yeah.
I've seen there's a couple of programs right now where people are actually going and taking books to barbershops and having conversations in barbershops. Unfortunately, I have no hair, so I don't hang out at barbershops.
Right.
Right. But maybe one day I'll be one of those guys to come down and hand out books for the young people.
Right. Literacy is definitely needed.
Now, do you find that young people can't read?
Yes.
Really? Tell me, how'd you find that out?
My oldest son, DeMarion, he's about to be 20 this year, but when he was in middle school, I used to visit his school frequently, and there were young men that were struggling, struggling with reading simple third, fourth, fifth grade literacy. Like they couldn't read. And the teachers, for the most part, they tried to help them, I'm assuming to the best of their ability, but social promotion kicked in.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now they had social promotion.
Yeah.
Is that when they move them without having those skills?
No child left behind. That means, I don't want to see you. You got to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
So wait a minute, no child stays here.
Oh yeah.
It's not about being left behind. So let's jump in right into it, because I wanted you here for a special reason to talk about how it was when we first got together, and then when I called you and told you what we're going to do.
Okay.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell the people about that.
All right. When I got the call from Paul about what the next phase of business was, it was
How many years have passed? 5 years?
about 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I knew Paul, being a visionary that you are, that whatever you put together, you was gonna take full advantage of it, and I wanted to be a part of it. So with the vision that you have now with Negative to Positive, I see the growth from conception to where we are now. So I understand that you want to help families first, fathers first, and then families. Strong fathers make strong families.
Absolutely.
I believe that wholeheartedly, and I preach that. Without you, Brother Muhammad, rest in peace, I think that there's so much missing, and it starts with fathers.
I see that. And over the years since the day we met, I see the missing pieces, and the missing pieces in fathers, and that's why some of them are so stumped in what they're supposed to be doing, because it's not given to them, and they're not getting any breaks.
Not at all. Society isn't set up for the nuclear family. It's positioned to elevate mothers with children, but even as myself, I take myself as an example. They were reluctant to give me assistance with any of the resources that were there for mothers. I mean, I wasn't dependent upon them from the jump, but it was great to know that as a father, I might have had relief, but it's not set up for that. I wasn't dependent on it. Thank God I'm in a better position to not need the resources that a lot of people need, but at the same time, it's like the unit is supposed to be led by the father, and the father sets the tone. So me setting the tone, being a single father, has been a journey.
Okay. I don't want people to think we just here to praise fathers, because First thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about bad dads and what they look like. You tell your story, then I'll tell my story, and then you'll see why we're doing what we're doing. We're not just angry dads. We're dads who want to turn this around. So tell us your father's story. As a matter of fact, years ago, you told your father's story, but tell it again for the people.
Well, my intro to fatherhood began when I was 17, about to be 18. I had my oldest son. I had recently graduated high school. About a month after I graduated, my son was born. So that journey started off with me being young, ambitious, and then reality set in. Having a child changed my whole life. So I had to devote everything I did to being a father.
No, that's not the story I wanted you to tell.
What you want me to tell?
Your dad's story.
My dad's story.
Yeah.
As far as Cortez?
No, your father.
Oh.
Yes,
man.
yes, because I think that kind of sparks us to say we have to do better. And I remember the story about your dad and that relationship, because you're doing a wonderful job right now.
Right.
From that time that I met you, you
Right.
were in a program to be a greater dad. And what sparked you to get in there and says, hey, I'm going to be a better dad? Is it because of your relationship with your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Man, where do I start?
Yeah.
From me being born?
Yeah, wherever you want to start at, because when I tell my story, I'm going back to 3 months old, what I found out about my relationship. So let me go first, then you
Right.
jump in there.
Okay.
So my dad's story is, if you haven't read any of my books, I didn't meet my dad until age 27, and my mother told me he was dead. What I found out was that he had married again, and in his marriage again, he told his wife that he had no kids.
Damn.
So I never mentioned that in the group.
Right.
Right, but he lied and said he had no kids. Now I'm the elder of his kids, and I didn't meet any of them until 27. So what I did was I went to go meet him after my ex went to a car lot to purchase a car, and he was selling a car. That's how I met my dad.
Right.
But it was the relationship, it never got off the ground because he was a piece of shit. You know, women always says blame the mom, blame the dad. And I'm like, well, sometimes a little both of them get it, right? But in majority of the time, I don't talk about my dad because it was so short-lived, and my plan was to be greater than him. So he was a non-factor. So knowing that he had married again and told his wife that I wasn't born, that was right in line with my mother saying
He was dead.
he was dead.
Right.
So if you can just get the full stories, because you're only going to get bits and pieces, because our elders tend not to want to share their truth because it's a shameful decisions that they made.
Right.
And now you're looking at them, and they don't want to be looked at in any bad light after they gave you so much false information over time. Now you're at the point where you get to ask those questions and you're 30 years old. So I found out that he did not tell his wife he had me. And just so happens, my mother I was born in wedlock. They were married and divorced.
Oh, wow.
And I was 3 months old. And then he moved on.
Right.
And that's where the other kids came to play. And I had a chance to talk with his former wife, and she told me some things about him. But it's the idea that when you're a dad, it's your job. It's your job. This is why we're saying it's so bad. And I believe, and I watch a lot of men right now who are so angry, they can't even think about being a dad. Right. My mother hated my dad so much that she couldn't love me. Yeah. So when these men are not doing their jobs, and just like, that's why I say when you go down into the shelters, you actually see those men who have no love, have no connection to the kids they make. I call kids love. Right. They have no connections to the kids that they made. They end up dying in the shelters. And sometimes I think that's what you get. Because every day you get an opportunity to hit the reset button, call a child, listen to a child, and try to do better. We as a people, we've already discounted dads, and they discount the dads because of that. Right. But now we need to change the narrative to bring dads back into the house, back into the home, back into leadership. Why? For the last 4 decades, we haven't seen it. Right. So it's a strange thing to most people. And you're asking hurt people to allow somebody to lead them And that's where our struggles are. We're meeting the wall there. So in my dad's story, to me it was personally embarrassing because when I told my younger brothers, I've got three other brothers.
Right.
Come to find out that my brothers knew my other brothers. We didn't have the same dad, but my brothers hung out with my other brothers.
Right.
And I used to walk past my dad's house every day to go to school in my last year of high school.
Did you ever see him?
Then
Yeah.
I didn't know. Me and my brothers are 4 years apart, right? So that was their year. You know, the younglings they were hanging out with. So
Right.
there was no reason. And I would walk past the house, and my best friend lived on the same block.
Right.
So when you don't do your part, it's so embarrassing trying to explain how your life is going. Then tell your brother, I say, hey man, I just found out I got three new brothers,
Right.
Kevin, Lavelle, and James. And my brother was like, Kevin, Lavelle, and James live on 42nd? Yeah. My brothers hung out with my brothers. They've seen my dad before I knew who my dad was.
Right. That's what I was asking. Did you ever see him? Did you ever walk past and see him out or anywhere?
No, didn't register. I just
no,
knew.
no. You visually saw him before you knew?
No,
Oh, okay.
no. It didn't register this man in this house.
Right. I understand.
Because I
that
passed
part.
it. Yeah.
Oh. So,
Yeah, I passed the house.
Right.
But I never knew my younger brother's friends.
Right. I
'Cause it's
understand
4
all of
years.
that. But I'm saying, in passing over the years, when you finally did meet him, did you ever see him out anywhere that you could register?
After 27?
No.
At the age 27? Because remember, I met him at
Oh.
27.
So you never saw him before then?
No, never saw him
Oh,
before
okay.
then.
That's
No,
why
no,
I'm
no.
asking.
Yeah,
Right.
I never saw my dad prior to age 27, and I was in the Marine Corps,
Right.
and I was away from home. So no, not at all.
Wow.
And to find the stories, you know, none of my family, and this is why it's so shitty. None of my family told me. None of the elders in my family,
But they
none of my
all knew.
older cousins, they all knew, but they never said anything.
Right.
And that's the level of dysfunction we go through, is to know that. So when we're out here and we're having a discussion about men and dads, you can best believe some of these men are hurt just as much as you women are about your kids. It's what people have done to us.
Right.
So that's why I was like, the dad story
Okay.
is some of us who. Well, I remember working with the homeless veterans, and I would ask them, "Are you connected to your kids?"
Right.
And they would say, "Like, well, you know, I grew up without a dad."
Right.
I was like, "What the hell does that mean?"
Right. That's an excuse not to be connected.
Absolutely, and
But
that's why
see,
you
my
die in
story
shelters.
is not like that, man. My story.
That's why I was trying to get you to
My
go
story
first.
is not like that. Okay. So my dad, my upbringing was my dad and my mom had me. My dad ended up getting on drugs.
Yes.
So during his drug usage, my upbringing suffered.
Yeah.
My mom did the absolute best she could, but we moved from Texas to Atlanta when I was going to 5th grade. So, like him not being in the best space with his drug usage, he was in and out of prison. My mom wanted better opportunities, so she moved to Atlanta, which is gift. It's been a gift, but in some areas, relationships suffer family-wise.
Okay.
But she did the best decision she made for herself at the time. So my relationship with my dad was strained because of this move, and he wasn't in the best position to fight it.
Yeah.
Because he was on drugs. So with his drug usage, I didn't get a lot that I could have benefited from, like becoming a young father myself.
Yeah.
Knowing how to pick women, and
Yeah.
knowing what to look for. So I think there were several lessons that I learned outside of him that I had to just gather myself.
Yeah.
And I made the best decision I could. But knowing what I know now, having a father, man, it would have carried all that shit.
Absolutely. I was a young dad.
Yeah.
My oldest, I had her at 17.
Right.
And I remember the call from the office telling me to come down to the office, got to go down to the hospital because
Your
your
baby
child,
born?
yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah, your child's about to be born. I had to
Right.
catch the bus down to the hospital, you know, to be the dad. But I had a plan.
Right.
I had a plan on how to take care of my daughter. What I didn't have a plan was how to be a dad.
Right.
And that's what happens when you're not their dads. You're leaving us to figure it out. You're leaving us to wing it, to do the guesswork.
Right.
And the whole time, she doesn't care you don't know.
Right.
She don't care you don't know. She assumed that you climbed on top of her, you knew. But no, that's not it.
Right.
So I think there's some bad dads out there. There's some hurt dads out there. But at some point, at some point you have to surrender to the idea that this is your job.
Right.
And this is why I created the change agents, because as I see it, a lot of us are not in the right positions doing the right things. We have an opportunity in this space right now to get our stuff together. I say, I don't think we can change right now, but I think we can model in front of the younger people to see what we need to be doing, because majority of things we do is already been modeled in front of us, and that's why we do what we do. Right. Imagine someone modeling the right thing to do in front of you when it comes to family, right, and the conversations you have are truthful and transparent. That helps you to be a better dad. Right. But all these lies and shenanigans, it just, I always say, you don't grow forward, you grow to the side. Right. You grow left and you grow right, and then finally, when there's enough pressure on you, and you see how your kids are struggling, right, and you understand that I don't want them to struggle, so you decide that I'm going to step in and do the right thing. Now, as I wrote in that book, I Am My Own Dad, now there is a friction there when you try to change the family, right, the family dynamics, because they're still angry and they're still hurt.
Yeah, speaking to that point, it's been as of recent, man, where I really got the backstory from my dad's side.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah, I moved to Texas recently. I was married,
mm-hmm,
so I moved to Texas, and while I was down there, I spent way more time with my dad.
Okay.
So my dad has been out drugs for almost 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
It might be 10 years plus, but somewhere around that mark. But at the same time, so now that he's really responsible and like living his life as he should, he's a great grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's making up for the time that he missed with me, which that's all good, and I forgave.
Yes.
But hearing his side of his drug uses, the world he was in, it gave me greater clarity on what he was going through. He wasn't able to because the drugs had a hold on him. That's not a pass.
Was the drugs a symptom to his problem? Did he really get to the bottom of why he needed those drugs in his life consistently?
Nah, I think it was just good marketing. He said they marketed that shit like it was just like Molly's or party drugs,
yes,
at the time. So he was partying, and it just was the cool thing they marketed.
Yes.
Crack and shit. We see the after effects.
Yes.
So, I mean, I understood because I see how influential like marketing and the streets or just cool shit in general can be to people.
Yes.
And then he was young himself, so he already smoked weed. It wasn't, I guess, a hard sell.
In the 80s, this is when he started?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember the 80s back in Gary, where
right.
I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember they didn't sell weed, marijuana, whatever you're going to call it, for months. And then they came out and introduced crack, and they says it was better than...
Right, and that's what he told me.
Yes, and that's how we fool.
Right.
Now, we're talking about how we got there and the oppression and the division of the family.
Right.
There you go.
Hey, man, that's the fuck nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
We already got jobless.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Low paying, and we give elevation to the women because they have the kids. The man can't be there.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and stomp his ass up.
And it worked.
Some crack on
it. Which is what Dave said.
Some crack on it.
And it worked.
Man, but that shit was painful to go through.
But we cannot stay there.
Nah.
And we have to understand in the evolution of family, we have to be greater. Now, we went back a couple of steps.
Right.
Now it's time to go forward. And this is where I think about that.
Right.
So let's talk about the statehood of fatherhood.
Now?
Yeah, let's go into that.
The state of fatherhood, from my perspective, being a barber, being a father, it's better than it has been, but it could always get greater.
Is like better than when we met now? Or we're talking about
when did it get better?
Yeah, when did you seem like has gotten better?
I'm speaking on the role and the word that I see because I'm able to vocalize and give people an option. There are resources for fathers who don't know. Like
yes.
Negative to positive.
Yes.
A lot of fathers don't know that programs like this exist.
Yes.
And a lot of them feel voiceless.
And the fatherhood program,
yes, the
Furthering Fathers. So,
yes.
I was going to bring that up because look at this right now, how many programs we have right now. I met Mr. Washington, he was over at Shiloh Church. Mm-hmm. We've got Brian and Deweese that are change agents. They've teamed up. I just saw some paperwork from them. How they got a program coming out this month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah. And how men are starting to get it across the board.
Right.
And I think it's kind of like being a car guy is one thing I learned. Back in the 70s, those cars didn't last 100,000 miles.
Right.
So the people who are buying those cars at that time will tell you, hey, you can't get a car with 50,000 miles on it.
Right.
Well, that data from then is not good right now because you can buy a good car at 150,000
Right.
miles. So the information takes a while to disseminate
Right.
to the where the rubber meets the road to the new buyer, right? That's the same thing about men and what they used to say about us and where we are right now because the programs are out there and we're trying to do it. The difference about this program is I do not shy away from being transparent about what I saw and what I went through and what we're talking about because some of the programs I've gone to, they placate and they rub you, but they don't tell you the whole truth.
Right.
And the whole truth is where you grow from, not from the idea of, hey, you know, we're just going to do this, but you don't really treat the real issue that they're having. And that's why I asked about your dad.
Right, right.
Yeah, the symptoms I find that in addiction that's not the problem.
Right.
You put the addiction on top of the problem, and then that can run 20, 30 years.
Man.
And you
has.
right. And then when you finally want to change, you have to address it at the point where what is the core issue here?
Right.
And then once you get to the core issue, then you can really grow. You can hit the gas. But if you don't hit the core issue, then it's just another way of just saying, I'm placating it for a while, pacifying, and that's not going to give us what we want.
Right.
I think the statehood of fatherhood is we're trying,
Right.
and we're going from the old data to the new data. Because when I see a dad out with his kids, I say, how you doing today, Dad?
Right.
You know, I'm excited to see dads do what they do.
Right.
And as we watch social media, the exposure of the negative relationships that are added by hurt women
Right.
and their misunderstanding that this man doesn't know his job, it's not giving any breaks, but he's still trying.
Right.
He's still showing up. And if the courts would, well, they weren't designed to help us.
No.
But if right, if was a fifth, we all be jacked
Knocked
up.
out.
I think the courts should push more to families being together, not so quickly divided,
Right.
and the other things we have to go with, and that goes with divorce also.
Right.
So, but that was perpetuated from a time. The cool thing to do is to get a divorce, divide the families, divide the children from the dad, and allow it to stay that way.
Right.
And I don't think they're looking at it as they could be looking at it if they really wanted to heal our families. And that's across the board as dads.
Yeah, I don't think that's their goal to heal the families. I think we have to take on that job ourselves. So again, back to why programs like this are beneficial.
Yes.
Because it gives us the tools that we weren't given. A lot of us were not raised up in two-parent households.
Right.
So we didn't get to see that firsthand model.
Yes.
And going through programs like this, we're able to meet other men who've been through it. They may be in 30, 40-plus year marriages.
Yeah.
And they may have a better sense of what family looks like and can share it with younger men. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? So,
and if you can't, if they're not there,
right.
create your own.
Right.
I think I was talking to Chris, there's enough information out there to be a greater dad.
Right.
If you want it.
Right.
But stop waiting till it's so bad that the kids can't be reached.
Right.
And now they're out having kids, and now they're angry at you,
Right.
and then they're not a good parent. And that's just,
Cycle.
Yes. And if you want to break the cycle, you got to be the cycle breaker, and that's why I created change agents.
Right.
I feel it's so important that we do it as men and not wait for anybody else to do it.
Right.